What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the E2E show. It's your boy Elisha.
And I'm Eli, and we have a lot to talk about. Big weekend, just big weekend in general. I'm back in LA and I'm feeling good, feeling warm. And
E2E, coast to coast. We back at it again.
Yeah, and after last week, it was very nice. I mean, it was obviously great to go to Charlotte and do everything we did. First of all, I have my laptop back, which is
Oh
huge.
my God, you guys, did we actually speak about that last time?
I don't remember, but long story short, I left my laptop on my plane to Charlotte from Syracuse, and then I got it back literally as I was getting on my plane from Charlotte back to Syracuse. That's whatever. But
guys,
okay, briefly.
Guys, this is a great lesson. I have to tell them to learn from your mistakes. One, when you're leaving a plane, guys, please look over your seat. Please look in front of you, behind you, on top of you, below you, everywhere to make sure that you didn't leave anything. Two, if you lose something, do not stress out for the whole entire weekend over it, guys, please. And I completely understand. It was important, it's your laptop, it has everything on it. Oh, and last but not least, and I feel like this should be this should be common knowledge. Put a password on your laptops, guys. Please do. Please learn from Eli's mistakes. But you got the laptop back, so we're all good.
Yes, but given, traveling the past 2 weeks, it was very nice to literally just yesterday from 9 a.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time, I watched soccer straight, just 12 hours straight of soccer nonstop. Shout out to ESPN Plus on the Apple TV because you could multicast MLS matches, and I had 4 matches on at once, including the Philadelphia Union, who beat the smallest club in MLS. So that was great.
Before we even move on to that, first of all, I love this game with my whole heart and my being. I love it so much. You were insane for watching it for 12 hours straight, multiple games at the time. That's crazy. I would go crazy, bro. How do you consistently sit there and watch all of these games in one entire day? The World Cup itself, kind of is overwhelming for me because there's so much going on. But you just went straight 12 hours. That's nuts. That got to be a world record.
Yeah, you said you would go crazy. I passed that point many, many decades ago. But yes, it was a great evening. And but how was your Saturday, Elisha?
Listen, man, there's a lot of things going on right now, but we're here. I'm alive. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Watch some football, watch Man United and Ronaldo put on an amazing show. Woo! Listen, that man, I'll say this, okay? We're going to get into the Man United stuff right now, right? Ronaldo comes back, 9 games with scoreless streak, comes back, scores a hat trick, okay? My thing is, we know that Ronaldo is Ronaldo. We know that. Listen, this is not even surprising to me anymore, right? But I'm a little tired of the whole, for 9 games, when he does nothing, people try their very hardest to not speak about it. You'll hear it, but people try their very hardest to just sweep it under the rug. Once he comes back and he scored that hat trick, oh my God, he is the GOAT. Oh my God, this man is amazing. This man is incredible. We know he's amazing. But please, guys, y'all need to keep that same energy when he's doing bad as you do when he's doing good. I'm not taking anything away from Ronaldo. I loved it. I'm happy that United won. But the fans, y'all need to keep that same energy. Hold him accountable when he's doing bad, please.
So I woke up for that match. That was that's what started my 12-hour day, right?
Yeah.
And Ronaldo scored.
Good way to start.
He scored that first goal 10 minutes in. I was so embarrassed because it's just me and my parents in the house right now. And I screamed, moaned so loud that it gave me flashbacks to middle school when, I was discovering the thing. Never mind. But it was just an out of body experience seeing Ronaldo score like that again, because he is so used to I'm so accustomed.
I can just see already how this is going to be clipped for social media. of just you saying that you were moaning and that it reminded you of middle school.
Well, no, just like my parents just be like, yo, what the hell is going on in that room?
Jesus Christ.
Anywho, that was electric. You know, when I see Ronaldo for United this time around, it's either the 9 scoreless, whatever, or just like simple tap-ins. And seeing him make one of those goals, beautiful. And they got the 3 points against a relatively big club. I'm not going to call them the biggest. Obviously, it's Tottenham. You know, we spent a weekend with Troops. I'm not going to just be out here complimenting Tottenham.
Listen,
but, you know,
Troops is hilarious. First of all, he said, why United spent so much money on a fridge. Speaking of Harry Maguire, that is one of the most disrespectful things I have ever heard. And he scored an own goal during this game. I don't know why. I never understood this purchase. I never understood why United decided to pay so much money for Harry Maguire. It makes absolutely Van Dijk, I understand.
Yeah.
Maguire, bad business.
No.
Bad
but
business. Hire me as a sporting director. I'll make better choices. I got some Haitian boys. I got some Senegalese boys up there in Harlem.
Oh, yeah.
Ballers. United, hit me up. Call me. We'll do some stuff.
Bro, the next football agent at Pro Sport, Elisha.
Who is it? It's business calling. It says Elisha's here. Come on. Let's do it.
But sticking on the positive, players that have always been kind of questionable for United really stepped up, like Fred. Fred had an amazing match, and it's exciting to see, you know, him come into his own a bit more. I think he's been playing some of his best football for United that he has. So I'm going to keep it positive there. And then, I mean, Jadon Sancho, we've talked about him every week on the show. I love Jadon Sancho. He's Sancho's like my guy on United. And, you know, seeing him thrive, he assisted one of Ronaldo's goals. Like, he has been probably the most informed player for United right now. So that's great. And I'll take that any day.
Absolutely.
But also in the Premier League, you know, a lot of stuff going on with the lads at Chelsea.
Listen, the circumstances that are leading up to Chelsea's demise right now are not funny at all to me. But the fact that their situation, the impact that this is having on Chelsea is hilarious. Like it every day, multiple times a day, we get new updates as to what Chelsea is doing, what the UK government is doing with Abramovich. Are they selling it? They're not allowed to sell it. They froze his assets. They can't buy gas for their bus. Thomas Tuchel is saying, listen, we could take a plane. If we can't take a plane, I'll drive a 7-seater. Like, what is going on with this club right now? And it's so weird because if this was like if this was a Burnley or something, or like a Brentford, we'll be like, oh, these clubs are already like, you know, with all due respect, in comparison to all the other Premier League clubs, they're relatively small already. Yeah. But Chelsea are at the top of their game right now. They're Premier League and Champions League contenders. So the fact that all of these things affect the players mentally, they affect their game. So now I could only imagine what's going on in their heads when certain players are or might be ineligible to play, because like there's so many things going on with this. But the fact, I never thought I would hear Chelsea Football Club talking about not being able to buy fuel for their bus to travel to another. Part. That is crazy. That's nuts.
And, you know, with the Chelsea situation, another thing I heard is, you know, a lot of these big EPL teams, they have like what they call the loan army, you know, the players that are on the squad, but they're always sent out on loan. And apparently, like, don't they have to sell a lot of those players now? Like those players aren't like, one of those is former USMNT player Matt Miazga, who is on loan, I believe, in Spain right now. But, you know, he is technically a Chelsea player, and I think he's going to have to get sold finally because, honestly, like, it's been long enough. He's got to go. But no, it's crazy what happened. Do I feel bad for Chelsea? No, not really. They just came off the Champions League. I don't have to, you know, give them my sympathy or empathy, but, you know, it's fine.
I have something.
Oh,
okay. We got to be ready for this. This is good. Listen, I have a pun. You know, if Chelsea don't have enough money to buy fuel, then they'll really have to park the bus.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Wait, I got
That was
another one.
good. Oh, give me another one. Give me
Do you
another one.
pronounce it? You
Pause.
pronounce it Tuchel, right? Tuchel?
Yes.
Thomas Tuchel? Okay.
Tuchel.
Wait, say the first line about that. Say the first
Tuchel.
line you just did.
Okay. If Chelsea don't have enough money to buy fuel,
then they're gonna have to part ways with Tuchel.
I don't get it.
I don't know. He's the coach, right? They'll have to part ways with
yes. What's the pun? Oh my goodness.
Oh no, the rhyme. Sorry, I meant to rhyme it. That's what I meant to do.
Oh my
Sorry. Yeah. I tried. I gave it an effort. I gave it, insert the Linkin Park. I tried so hard.
Let's move on, please, to other news. And another player that had an amazing performance in the past week, Karim Benzema, Big Benz, Karim Benzoma, as my Haitian people will call him. Yo, I owe Karim Benzema an apology, and I will do this publicly, because years ago, when it was Karim, Ronaldo, Gareth Bale at the top of their game, I was on the wave of, Benzema is the weakest link right now, because Bale is a monster. Physically, he's just athletically, he's unmatched on that team. Extremely fast, extremely skillful. Ronaldo, we don't even got to talk too much about Ronaldo. So I just always felt like in that offense, Benzema was the weakest link. But Benzema has stood the test of time. And it just seemed like he was the weakest link to my, as an excuse for myself, I'll say that in comparison to the others, he was just, it's a lot to fill in. It's a lot to live up to. But after all the hoopla, after the dust has settled, after Real Madrid has gotten rid of some of their biggest players, some of them have gotten older. Marcelo is not where he used to be. Modric is not where he used to be. Kroos is still okay, but Benzema is still going strong. I got to give it to him, man. Just like he said, he is a Ferrari amongst Corollas. That man is a baller. And I'm happy that he's doing well. I was going for PSG. I wanted them to make it. I wanted Mbappe to go further than just a round of 16. Like, damn.
Yeah.
But Benzema just took them out in classic Benzema fashion, just ruthless. And I'm happy that they made it through. Even as a Barca fan, I'm genuinely happy that Real Madrid made it through.
Wow, that must have taken a lot for you to say, first of all. But one thing I noticed this past week in both Champions League and EPL is 3 33-year-old and higher and older strikers had hat tricks. Benzema, Ronaldo, and Lewandowski against Salzburg. But that hat trick has an asterisk again on it. If it requires multiple PKs, I'm not like that's a hat trick. But anyways, with that though, Benzema
Don't do that. Lewandowski owned that. What?
He did own that one, but it's me being sad that Salzburg.
They were fair penalties.
They were fair penalties.
So you gotta give it to.
I know, and I love Lewandowski. I've been pulling for him to win Ballon d'Or forever.
Lewandowski, yes, sir.
But it was just cool to see, the aging strikers, get yours, But about Benzema, it's crazy.
It just got darker in here because Eli's throwing a whole lot of shade. I saved it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Yes. Go on.
With Benzema, though, he's a player on Madrid that I've been expecting them to get rid of for years now. For a while. Really? You mentioned when they were not as good, when he was not as good as the players around him. You were like, oh, when is Benzema gonna get moved? When's Benzema get moved? But now he's literally the heart and soul of Madrid. He is Real Madrid right now, and it's awesome to see that he is getting the recognition that he deserves. Time out. I could be wrong about this. I'm probably thinking about someone else. Was Benzema on the 2018 World Cup squad or no?
For France?
Yeah.
He wasn't. He came back after.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a snub.
Yeah. I mean, so basically Benzema wasn't with France. He hasn't played. He just recently came back because years ago there was this big controversy. There was a blackmailing drama thing with him and another French player, Valbuena. So he got kicked off the team. It was a huge thing. A lot of people wanted him on. It torn the French people because one side wanted him back, another side didn't want him back. He
Okay.
he threw some shades at the French national team. Also, he kept asking to actually be allowed to play for Algeria, because he has Algerian roots, just so that because if they're not going to play him, he's one of the best players on the planet.
Yeah. Let
him go over to another country and play. So it was a whole lot of back and forth with that, and then he finally came back and was able to play for the Euros. But yeah.
Never mind the narrative I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, oh, he got snubbed from the World Cup, and now look at him now. That's what I was gonna try to pull, but I get it. I don't follow
healthy.
A lot of
if Benzema's healthy, if he's healthy, it's impossible for the national team to, because for a while, that's where the whole him and Giroud thing, that's where like the saltiness came, because Giroud was on that team that won the World Cup, and he was basically his replacement. And we all know, like, as much as I love Giroud, like he's not better than Benzema, but
exactly,
he's a World Cup champion. So I know that made him a little salty. But yeah, I mean, it's also like for teams like Real Madrid, especially if you're in a rebuilding phase, I think Barca is doing that too. There's some of the senior players, I think that's why they brought back Dani Alves, because there's just a certain energy that some of these players have from, their heydays and their glory days that you just want back into the squad for the youngsters, for the new players coming in. So I think that Benzema is one of these players who he just so happens to be a veteran who is still playing at a high level, so it's just that energy. He's won the Champions League 3 times back to back. He was part of that squad, so it's just good to have him there, for mentally, it's good for the whole team.
No, and it happens, with a lot of footballers. It happens in basketball. You look at LeBron, he's 37, 38, and he's still one of the best in the league. And, I'm basically saying Benzema is the LeBron of soccer. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah.
No. Okay.
Cut that out, please.
Yeah,
you're going to get us canceled, Eli. I don't want to get canceled. We're 4 episodes in. You're going to get us canceled already. Speaking of older players, though, it was just announced today. Of course, you guys are going to be watching this, tomorrow on Monday. But Tom Brady just announced that he is unretiring and he will be returning as the quarterback.
I wanted to mention
for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Ronaldo had something to do with it.
That's what I was about to say. My man saw Ronaldo at Old Trafford score a hat trick, and he was like, I want back in.
Yep. That's what happens. A GOAT sees another GOAT doing GOAT things, and he wants to come back. He's like, yo, I don't want to be left out of the GOAT party. You know what I'm saying? We see some GOAT curry. We see some GOAT stewed. I need some, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to be left out. He wants to be still doing great things. I think Tom Brady's going to keep going until he's 50, 60. If he can still walk, if he can still bend his arm, he's going to still be playing football because he's addicted. He's addicted to it. He knows he can keep winning. So why not?
I mean, Tom Brady just saw the lovely own goal of Harry Maguire, and he was like, I must return.
Harry Maguire
that would get my
inspired
juices
it.
flowing personally, that would just get me going.
Whoa, pause. Wait a minute.
Yo, not like that. Hey, yo.
What is God? What is going? Cut this too. Clip this too. Leave this in. Do not edit that out. Do not edit that out.
I did not mean it.
I don't know. I don't know what the Los Angeles air is doing to Eli, but he is all over the place today, guys. And I apologize to our young viewers because
it was not that. I did not do that. We did not do that. Not by juices. I mean, in my brain, getting me thinking and getting me going for my day. Like when I have my first sip of coffee, and boom, those juices, brain juices.
Oh my God! Speaking of juices. Listen, I'm surprised that it's taking me to bring this up right now. Your guy.
You're about to bring up.
Your guy. Douglas Costa scores his first goal for LA Galaxy.
It was
I
beautiful.
just knew. Yo, listen, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I just felt it. My Eli senses were just tingling. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be too much for planet Earth. We are not ready for Eli, for a world where Eli has to react to Douglas Costa scoring a goal for LA Galaxy. But how do you feel? How do you feel right now?
That was amazing, especially given the context of the match at the time. We were down 2-1, and this was a couple minutes after halftime, and he scored that, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, we still lost that match. That was our first. Even though it was against one of the best teams in the league on the road, the Galaxy completely controlled that match, and all three of the Sounders' goals were our mistakes that we made. And that's the most frustrating part for me, knowing that like we really sold that one. And it was also great to not, have to rely on 1-0 victories. We finally scored 2 goals in a match, and it happened to be Chicharito and Douglas Costa, exactly what you want to see. But the free kick, did it take a deflection? Maybe. Did it still go in? Yes. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Douglas Costa has been looking great regardless. And it's just great to finally see that and see him on the score sheet. So
yeah, he's getting back at it. He's getting back at it. And I'm happy. Against Charlotte, he looked a little tired. I'm not gonna lie. But he's looking good. It's just the progression of things. The West Coast air is doing him good.
Speaking of Charlotte, lost today, but they did score their first goal.
Yes.
A 19-year-old scored their first goal, and they lost in such a sad fashion. They conceded a goal in the 96th minute to lose on the road. So it would have been great if they got their first MLS point on the road. But, they'll just have to deal with it. But at least they got that first goal. That is huge. Got it. And it was scored by a 19-year-old, I believe.
Absolutely. They're making history. Charlotte FC, it's one of those teams you just cannot root, especially after the experience we had last week. Mm-hmm. You can't root against them. Like I wish them the best, man, for this season. And I'm definitely going to try to tap in and go back for another game because the atmosphere was top notch. I loved it. And we got so much love out there. So yeah, it was great. Yeah.
From the Galaxy, a team with 5 banners, to Charlotte, a team that eventually hopes to get a banner. Now to a team that should not have hung up a banner yesterday. NYCFC.
Oh,
with
my
their
God.
napkin.
There's no way. There is no way. There's no
poster.
Way. There's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way. They got an 8x11-inch piece of paper and hung it as their banner. I could have printed that in my living room.
Monday,
my goodness. There's no way a professional sports team, my high school soccer team's banners were bigger than that.
Same.
There's no way a New York team hung that up in the stadium. And who cleared that? I want to know.
Do you see how happy the NYCFC fans that hung that banner looked as they did it? They were like, yeah, woo, yeah, that's great. And it's
I want to know,
bro,
who approved this? Who was responsible for approving this? I feel like maybe like they thought it was going to be bigger and they ordered it and it just Amazon brought it up and they were like, yo, this is not what we ordered. And they're like, listen, this is what you got. You know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, this is what you got to present to the fans. But
I really hope that this is like
poor. That was just not acceptable.
I hope this is like they're waiting on the real one to arrive, so they have this one in the meantime. This reminds me of 2020 when Philadelphia Union won the supporter shield. They had the fake supporter shield to hold in the photos and stuff because of COVID and everything. But
make it happen. Get the real. There's Eli. Please, estimate. Can we please Google what does a banner cost?
Yeah, I could pay for that out of my pocket right now, like the real deal, not a real deal, but whatever that was, the napkin, whatever that you want to call it, like the notepad paper, that would not be that can't be more than $10, right?
Custom band. Look, bro, from what I'm seeing right now. Look at this right now. Zazzle. Shout out to Zazzle. This definitely looks bigger than what NYCFC had. And it is $61.97. $61.97 for this. Come on, come on, bro. Like,
That's
what's going on? Do we need to start a GoFundMe for NYCFC?
at this
If this is
point.
what's happening, let's make it happen, please. Let's
But do I
start.
really
Let's
give him my sympathy? Also in MLS. What was I gonna
also
say?
Red Bulls lost.
Oh, Rebels lost, but the lad Breck Shea, the GOAT, he did get sent off with a red card against LAFC. Honestly, I rate it.
Oh my
But
god.
it was no harm. It was clearly a red card, but it was just tough, tough to see the lad, especially after everything I've been defending him for. It's tough to see the lad, go out with a red card in a very stupid situation that didn't need to happen. But that's it from my end. Elisha, you got anything else?
Listen, sending much love to Weston McKennie, man, because
Oh,
we just find out with a broken foot, he's gonna be out for the rest of the season. They got World Cup qualifiers coming soon versus Mexico with the national team, and just overall, like, you never want to see somebody just injured. Like, it's tough. It takes a big physical, mental, and emotional toll on these players when they have like season-ending injuries. Like, the season is halfway through, World Cup, at the end of the year. It's tough for sure, but still wishing him healthy and speedy recovery so he could get back on the pitch soon.
please. We need him back, and love the guy. And it was also really cool. He was in LA last week. He wanted to come to the best coast, and
oh, he wanted to come to New York?
no, he was at the LAFC match and he took photos with the fans. Same. I don't know if it was the same or different match that Owen Wilson was at. But
it's so random.
I don't know, but they made a big deal about Owen Wilson being there.
Owen Wilson pulls up at the most random places, but
exactly. Yeah. But it was nice to see him, embrace the fans. Also, even more important than him showing up to the LAFC match, him, playing or not playing because he obviously can't play, but he pulled up to the Venice Beach, pickup leagues and stuff. They literally have the stadium in arena. They have the arena in FIFA where they play the the futsal stuff at Venice Beach, and it was cool for him to kind of give back just by showing up and taking photos with everyone there. So
shout out to Weston McKennie. Absolutely, shout out to Weston McKennie. Shout out to all the players who aren't too full of themselves and who don't mind taking pictures, playing outside, with random people. Even though with the taking picture, I'll take that back because sometimes people are just not in the mood, and I completely understand that. But definitely, guys, if this is speaking to the players, if you're ever, feeling like just wanting to be out there are definitely people who want to see you, who want to talk to you, who want to kick around with you. Don't be afraid to do that, man. It will make a fan's day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to end this, every single show, we have to leave you guys off with a wellness check, with some positivity, with something to bring you guys some value. First of all, Eli, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, how are you feeling?
Honestly, watching soccer for 12 hours straight yesterday wasn't only the best thing ever because I got to watch as much MLS and Manchester United as I could. It was also the fact that I was so active posting just highlights and whatever, and just getting to talk with everyone, whether it was in my comments or DMs, that's really why I love doing what I do. It's like watching it with people online, basically, as big moments happen, people would DM me, ask me about them. I mean, the Breck Shea red card, that was a bit tough because everyone was like, oh, your boy got a red card. I was like, you don't say. But, I'm very thankful for everyone, and I think just that really made yesterday or 2 days ago when you're seeing this very special. It's just getting to talk with all you guys and getting to know your feelings about your clubs as things are happening live. What about you, Elisha?
No, absolutely. I think right now I will say I'm a good 8.5 out of 10, just overall with everything. It's just, personally, it's just a whole lot of things that I'm tidying up, nothing crazy, guys, but life is good. I'm grateful. I wake up every day feeling grateful. God is good. I feel like I'm energized. I'm ready to take on the world, ready to make some noise, ready to You know what I'm saying? Changes game forever. I feel I'm as motivated as ever. I'm as inspired as ever, you know, and I know you guys don't take this as it's okay to not be okay, guys, because I know that we come and of course we give you as much positivity and energy as possible. But it's okay to not have that energy from time to time. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel sad. And, you know, as much as I feel good right now, that's not a perpetual thing. I don't always feel happy and jolly and energetic. It's just that we are, although responsible for picking ourselves back up and doing everything we can to get ourselves back in a positive and happy mood. So this week, what I'll leave you guys with is if you're feeling happy, make sure you try your best to spread that happiness to other people. And if you're not feeling so happy, your feelings are valid. It's okay to not be okay, but don't slack on it and make sure you try your best to get yourself back in that good mood.
With that being said,
yes, sir.
First of all, absolutely amazing advice. And, you know, starting next week, the E2E show, it's going to be looking a little different. You know, we're going to be having some special guests, and stay tuned later this week on our Instagram/Twitter for the announcement of next episode's special guest. Make sure you're following the E2E show on Instagram and Twitter. Also, make sure you're following Elisha and I on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Make sure you are subscribed to the Gold Channel.
The Gold Channel.
You know, subscribe, enjoy all of Elisha's videos. Make sure you
all of them
are subscribed to BR Football on YouTube and following them on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Make sure
more you know ball coming soon.
And make sure you stay hydrated with body armor.
Stay hydrated. Follow This Week in MLS. Stay tuned for more football content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with the E2E show, and we will meet with you guys next week. Peace.